What if the moon crashed into the sun? If the moon somehow drifted away from Earth and fell into the sun wouldn't even notice. It's 27 million times more massive. The moon would be vaporized instantly. But back here on Earth, the consequences would be devastating. Without the moon, our tides would shrink dramatically. Sea creatures that depend on tidal rhythms could collapse. Earth's tilt would begin to wobble over thousands of years, causing chaotic climate swings, maybe even mass extinctions. We'd lose our stable seasons and weather patterns. So while the sun survives, life on Earth may not. 2. What if the Earth stopped spinning? If Earth suddenly stopped spinning, the atmosphere wouldn't. That means everything on the surface would be launched eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. Cities would be ripped apart, oceans would surge into massive tsunamis, and the sky would scream with hurricane-force winds. Over time, one side of Earth would face the sun permanently, turning it into a scorched desert. The other side, a frozen wasteland. Only the twilight ring between light and dark might remain habitable. Life would be possible, but only for the toughest survivors. 3. What if the sun disappeared for 24 hours? If the sun simply vanished, we'd know 8 minutes later. That's how long light takes to reach us. Earth would be flung off its orbit instantly, flying in a straight line through space. Within hours, surface temperatures would plummet. In a day or two, the planet would be below freezing. After a week, most surface life would be dying. But the planet's core would remain warm for thousands of years. Deep ocean and underground life could survive, and humans, with technology and planning, might too. But it would never be the same Earth. 4. What if we woke up on the wrong planet? Imagine waking up one morning and everything feels off. Gravity is normal. Air is breathable. But the stars in the sky are wrong, the moon is closer and spins differently, and plants grow just a little too fast. We'd be on a parallel Earth. Life could exist, but the differences would matter. The food might be toxic. Microbes could overwhelm our immune systems. Evolution may have created predators we've never imagined. Human survival would depend on adapting quickly or finding a way home. Hey, what if Jupiter became a second sun? Jupiter is massive, but not massive enough to ignite. It would need 80 times its mass to become a star. But if something ignited it into a red dwarf, it would become a dim second sun. Earth would get brighter nights, and the outer solar system would warm. Europa, one of Jupiter's frozen moons, could melt, revealing oceans beneath. That might allow alien life to thrive. But for Earth, the added light could disrupt ecosystems, weather, and night-based species. The solar system would never look the same. 6. What if Saturn's rings fell to Earth? Saturn's rings are made of icy rock, some as small as dust, others the size of houses. If somehow those rings got knocked out of orbit and headed toward Earth, most pieces would burn up as meteor showers. But larger fragments could hit with enough force to level cities. The sky would light up for days. Globally, impacts could stir wildfires, alter the atmosphere, or even trigger a mini ice age. The beauty of the rings would be gone, replaced by destruction. 7. What if time moved faster in space? In a way, it does. Thanks to Einstein, we know time passes more slowly in stronger gravity. That means astronauts on the ISS age just a tiny bit slower than people on Earth. Near a black hole, the effect gets extreme. Spend a few hours near one, and decades might pass elsewhere. So if time sped up in space, say on a ship far from any gravity source, an astronaut could return to find Earth has moved on without them. Technically possible, emotionally terrifying. 8. What if the moon were hollow and alive? Some conspiracy theories claim the moon is hollow. It's not, but it does behave strangely. During Apollo missions and when a spent module crashed into the moon, it rang like a bell for nearly an hour. That's because it's dry and cracked, not filled with water like Earth. Seismic waves travel differently. And if the moon were alive, either biologically or artificially, we'd expect strange heat patterns, irregular movements, or magnetic signals. But the moon is cold, geologically dead, and has no atmosphere. It does help life on Earth tremendously, though, stabilizing our tilt, guiding tides, and possibly even making complex life possible. If anything happened to it, Earth's habitability would be in serious danger. 9. What if Earth was just a seed? Earth as a seed sounds like science fiction, but metaphorically, it's true. Earth is the cradle of life, a planet where biology has evolved into intelligence. And now that intelligence is building rockets, reaching the moon, and aiming for Mars. But if Earth were literally a seed, say with something artificial or engineered buried inside, it would suggest ancient alien intervention. In that case, we'd expect strange materials, unnatural patterns in geology, or structures too advanced for our history. So far, no such evidence. But symbolically, Earth is planting life into the universe. Every rover, satellite, and astronaut is part of a larger growth process, turning Earth into the seed of a spacefaring species. 10. What if the stars started disappearing? If one or two stars disappeared from view, it could be explained. A cloud of dust might have passed in front, or a dying star collapsed into a black hole. But if constellations across the sky began to vanish, that would be terrifying. The most likely explanation? A massive interstellar object is moving through space, blocking light as it passes. If it's artificial, like a Dyson sphere or alien megastructure, it could signal intelligent life at a scale we've never imagined. But even natural phenomena like dark matter filaments or rogue planets could cause temporary disappearances. It would mean something huge is out there, and it might be coming our way. 11. What if you could hear the sun? We actually can hear the sun, not with ears but with instruments. The sun vibrates constantly. Those waves ripple across its surface and through its core, just like sound waves in an instrument. Scientists translate those vibrations into sound, and what we hear is a deep, constant hum. Studying solar sound, called helioseismology, helps us understand what's happening inside the sun, long before flares or eruptions reach us. That's important because solar storms can damage satellites, disrupt power grids, and knock out communication systems on Earth. Listening to the sun isn't just cool, it's practical. 12. What if a planet appeared overnight? A planet can't just appear, at least not in our current understanding of physics. But if a massive object suddenly did show up in our solar system, we'd feel it almost immediately. Gravity would shift. Satellites might drift off course. Tides could go wild. Even a small rogue planet the size of Mars could destabilize Earth's orbit or tug on other planets. Worst case scenario, a collision course. Best case, it settles into a distant orbit, becoming our new neighbor. But here's the real shocker. Astronomers have already spotted objects on the edge of our solar system that don't quite follow the rules. Some believe a large, unseen planet, Planet 9, could already be lurking in the shadows. 13. What if the ISS went silent and grew? The International Space Station is monitored constantly. If it went silent, we'd immediately assume a systems failure, collision, or cyber attack. But what if it started growing? That's impossible by current engineering standards, unless it were using some form of self-replicating nanotech. While that's science fiction for now, scientists are experimenting with materials that can self-heal, self-assemble, or grow in space using 3D printing and AI. The idea? Future space stations could repair themselves, or even build new modules without human help. So while a growing ISS sounds wild, it's closer to possible than you might think. 14. What if aliens lived in the Oort cloud? The Oort cloud is a shell of icy debris orbiting our solar system. It starts about 2,000 times farther from the sun than Earth is. It's too distant to explore, and we've never even seen it directly. But if aliens lived there, they'd be far from starlight, adapted to cold, and maybe even living inside comets or artificial habitats. If they wanted to observe us undetected, the Oort cloud would be the perfect hiding spot. And since it's the source of many comets, any comet headed toward Earth could be carrying something more than ice. It's unlikely, but until we send a probe out that far, we won't know for sure. 15. What if Earth was a spaceship? Earth orbits the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. The solar system moves through the galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour. The galaxy itself drifts through space. We're already passengers on a cosmic journey. But what if Earth wasn't natural? If it were a constructed spaceship, even partially, we'd expect to find advanced materials underground, precise mathematical alignments, or propulsion systems. We haven't. But thinking of Earth as a spaceship forces us to take care of it, because for now, this is the only vessel we've got. It has no backup systems, no alternate destination, and unless we build one, Earth really is our ship through space.